Something big just happened. And if you miss this moment, you might miss one of the most important financial turning points in the Iraqi dinar's history. So stay with me right now, because what I'm about to reveal is surprising, fast-moving, and directly connected to the brand new Gazette announcement that has already created shockwaves across global currency markets, raising questions, sparking debates, and pushing investors to rethink everything they assumed about the Iraqi dinar's value and its potential revaluation path in 2025. Today's development is not just another rumor or speculation. This time it is tied to official communication, new economic signals, and unexpected statements from inside Iraq that have begun circulating across the financial community. If you are watching right now, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and comment, because the more people engage, the more this information can reach those who need to understand what is unfolding behind closed doors and what analysts are now predicting for the coming months. Over the past few weeks, Iraq's financial sector has experienced unusual activity, including adjustments inside the central bank's internal documentation, reports of policy alignment with international monetary standards, and new structural reforms the government has been silently preparing for. But everything escalated when the new Gazette update confirmed strategic decisions that may affect liquidity, exchange rate behavior, and Iraq's broader foreign reserve strategy. Investors around the world are now trying to decode what the unexpected shift means for the future value of the Iraqi dinar, especially because the timing lines up with key fiscal deadlines, ongoing negotiations with international partners, and internal economic reforms designed to stabilize Iraq's currency system for long-term growth. What really stands out is how these actions connect with previous statements by financial authorities who hinted that Iraq was preparing steps toward improving currency stability, increasing purchasing power domestically, and aligning with global standards, which has always been interpreted as a major prerequisite for any type of value change or revaluation scenario. People who have followed the dinar journey for years understand that Iraq rarely moves fast and almost never announces major steps without internal confirmation. So the fact that the Gazette published these new adjustments is causing a wave of excitement and caution at the same time. The foreign exchange markets responded immediately, with analysts pointing out that any confirmed policy shift in Iraq tends to influence USD/IQD movement, investor expectations, and speculation on possible RV-related triggers. While nothing is guaranteed, the environment right now is one of the most dynamic we've seen in years, and that alone signals that something larger may be building behind the scenes. Don't go anywhere, because the next part of this video will break down the deeper reasoning behind this move and how it connects with the global economic landscape. But before we continue, make sure to comment below where you are watching from and how long you've been following the Iraqi dinar story, because your voice helps shape the type of analysis we bring to this channel. As more details emerged following the Gazette announcement, the financial community began identifying patterns that suggest Iraq is positioning itself for a more controlled, systematic, and internationally compliant approach to currency management, especially concerning the dinar's long-term value trajectory. Experts are now analyzing whether the updated documentation reflects new monetary regulations, revised fiscal targets, or early signs of exchange rate recalibration tied to Iraq's broader economic recovery goals for 2025. One thing that has become very clear is that Iraq has been under significant pressure from global financial institutions to modernize its banking operations, tighten currency flow controls, and reduce the gap between official and market exchange rates. These conditions historically appear right before developing nations attempt to strengthen currency value or stabilize their financial position. Additionally, Iraq's foreign reserves have been showing consistent growth, supported by strong oil revenue cycles, regional trade expansion, and new agreements with international partners that allow Iraq to rely less on volatile external borrowing. This combination creates an environment where strategic value adjustments become more realistic, especially when tied to structural changes inside the central bank. But what surprised investors most was the timing. Releasing these new updates at a moment when the US dollar is facing global pressure, inflation is recalibrating, and multiple nations are pivoting toward new economic partnerships. Many analysts believe that Iraq sees a unique window of opportunity to align itself with global currency trends and reduce dependency on USD dominance in local markets. Another important factor is Iraq's internal push to restore trust in its banking sector, reduce black market currency influence, and create a more transparent financial ecosystem capable of attracting foreign investors who have been waiting for signs of genuine stability before committing to long-term projects. The Gazette update may be part of this broader strategy to signal readiness, improve investor confidence, and prepare the domestic economy for a stronger purchasing environment. Throughout social media and investment forums, people are now debating whether this marks the beginning of a multi-phase plan that could eventually lead to a revaluation, a rate correction, or a strategic float mechanism controlled by the central bank. While nothing is confirmed, the signals align with many of the macroeconomic indicators specialists have been monitoring for years. If you're still with me, make sure to engage below, because every comment helps boost this video to more viewers who are searching for accurate, unbiased information rather than misleading noise. Now, let's break down how this Gazette announcement and the sudden market reaction could influence the Iraqi dinar's future and potentially trigger changes that many investors have been anticipating for a long time. When governments adjust financial regulations, reform banking systems, and update currency documentation, it usually means they are preparing for economic shifts that require stability, precision, and new frameworks, and Iraq is no exception. Over the past decade, Iraq has been rebuilding its economic structure piece by piece, reducing corruption, increasing transparency, and gradually aligning with international financial standards. These reforms have been slow but steady, and now the recent update suggests a new phase of readiness. One reason analysts are paying close attention is because the Gazette release came at a time when Iraq is negotiating major energy contracts, expanding oil production capabilities, and discussing international trade mechanisms that reduce dependency on foreign intermediaries. All of these build economic strength, which is essential for any future currency value change. Another factor is the global shift away from traditional banking models toward digital currency integration, modernized payment systems, and stricter financial tracking, and Iraq has already stated its intention to modernize its banking infrastructure to participate in this new era. If Iraq successfully implements these steps, it could gain more control over its currency flow, reduce illegal trading channels, and stabilize the dinar's market behavior, all of which are conditions required before a potential rate correction or revaluation. The growing interest from foreign investors, regional allies, and global analysts also adds weight to the possibility that Iraq is preparing for a more sustainable financial position. While the exact details of any future value change remain unconfirmed, the combination of economic signals suggests a higher level of preparedness than we have seen in previous years. The important thing to understand is that major currency movements do not happen overnight. They build quietly through structural adjustments, legal updates, and strategic announcements that gradually reveal the direction a country intends to take. That's why today's development matters. It fits into the larger pattern, and anyone ignoring this moment may overlook key information that affects long-term expectations. If this video has helped you understand the situation better, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share your thoughts below, because your engagement helps us continue delivering deep, original, and real-time analysis for viewers around the world.